Howdy, y'all. How's everybody doing this afternoon? I thought I'd jump on and do a little, we hit a milestone this week, 150K, and I was like, you know what? I don't have any videos out for Sunday, and I thought, what better way to do it than a live stream for everyone? So if anybody has any questions, you can ask me. We can just sit here and just chill out for a little bit. Got a couple things I've been doing in the background, some odds and ends things, so yeah, some fun stuff to share. But yeah, you guys probably noticed the Mint videos and those types of things. Big shout out to Mike Hathaway. He's the one that kind of introduced that to me. He's a Patreon. He went back and forth with chat. He's like, hey, you did a Pop OS introductory series, and that I think was real beneficial, but you might attack it a different way, and that's where that whole thing came out. So we still have like 1 or 2 videos still left to do with that, with gaming and programming. You'll see the installing programs and go over all the things of that coming up next week. But that was a fun series, something I wanted to revisit a bit, and just some other kind of content. You guys notice I've probably been a little bit all over the place this past couple weeks, but some of it is just the boredom. So, being at home, but I'm actually heading back to the day job, probably tomorrow, actually, probably. So, I'm not actually officially due in until Tuesday, but I anticipate everybody being back at the office. I'm going to get a lot of support calls and things of that nature. So, if you do watch me over on Twitch, I usually start that about 9 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up pretty early, about 5 a.m., and I'll probably start at about 6. So I'll probably start that one 6 a.m. in the morning, and, we'll do our normal over there. That should be fun. But, yeah. Have you ever tested Acro Linux? That's a good question. It comes from Lucas. I have not. So a lot of times I get asked how to, test this distro or that distro, and I made that whole, I stopped saying it, the whole distros don't matter, and Linux is Linux and that type of thing. And it just comes off kind of corny and cheesy, and a lot of people were taking it too literally. And, I did that whole video if you want to watch my explanation of that. But the whole purpose of that was just to say, stop obsessing over distros. In the Discord, which I shut down most of the invites to Discord just because they were having a lot of issues with raids and other things. And, that's why the Discord's hard to get into, and I do hand out invites and stuff, so if anybody's interested in that, I'll paste one in chat here for, be good for about 24 hours, and I'll do that here in a little bit. But, yeah, it's more of, I wanted people just to expand their mind a little bit past that, and get past just looking at this specific distro, because in my eyes, you have three different distros that really matter. And they are Debian, and a lot of everything people ask me to try usually falls in the Debian realm. This is Ubuntu, Pop OS, Linux Mint. All these are Debian based. So to me, they're all the same. Then you have RHEL based, which is CentOS, Fedora. That's a different package manager. It uses DNF and Yum, and that's just its own little branch. But really, really prevalent in business. So if you're aspiring system admin, definitely get Fedora, get familiar with DNF and Yum, and probably look at CentOS a little bit. I don't recommend running CentOS as a daily driver for a desktop just because it's really old. A lot of their packages are like 2-3 years old, but it's extremely stable, like probably the most stable Linux distro out there. And then lastly, of course, is Arch, which Acro Linux, I believe, is an Arch spin or a fork. And you got Manjaro, you got Acro, you got a whole bunch in here. Salient, I think, OS. A lot of people were like, why didn't you say Salient instead of Manjaro when I went over gaming OSs for Linux? Same thing. I mean, honestly, you need to learn to customize a lot of that stuff. That's why I got a little frustrated when I had that little rant when I hadn't shaved in probably 3 days or 2 days or something, and then I got on there and I was like, your distribution sucks. It's because I was just so sick of people asking me about distribution, because honestly, Linux distributions, I'm just like, whatever. It's just another flavor. It's like, just another skin on top of your OS to me. So But yeah, no, let me, I'll pull up a Discord real fast, grab a link for you guys. It's good for about 24 hours. And you guys can join. There's a lot of people in there still. I think we still have like a couple thousand members. I've purged a bunch of it, and I get in there about once or twice a week. I try to chat with like the mod team and some other people over there, but it's something that's pretty cool if you're looking for like direct feedback, because that's what I really wanted, was something for people to do. But at the same time, it's something you still figuring out. So, it's one of those things, how to directly interact with you guys. My favorite interaction with y'all is live stream. I'm just going to tell you straight up, if you ever want to get a hold of me, jump in my Twitch live streams 2 days a week. That's where I'm at all the time. That's just the easiest for me. So let me grab an invite for everybody, and we'll go from there. Why does Arch Linux look jaggedy even after drivers are installed? You probably are running like an NVIDIA driver, and it depends. I mean, it just depends on what you're doing. But I mean, there's a lot of optimizations that go into certain things, like Debian versus Ubuntu. Ubuntu just has a couple more system optimizations, and I have some expert tips coming out later this week where I go over some of those optimizations, like swappiness and those types of utilizations that just make things run faster. So, everybody's a little different. Cubes OS for software development. No, Cubes OS has one purpose. The only thing you should be using Cubes for is security. And it has the best security by compartmentalization. That's what Cubes OS is for. Don't use Cubes for anything else. It'll drive you mad. So there we go. But yeah, no, that's what it is. Do you use cloud storage from Google or Microsoft? If so, for what? So yeah, I have a lot of cloud storage. Obviously, with my day job, we're a big Office 365 shop. So obviously OneDrive and other things. I don't really ever store anything pertinent on there. And I'm not a big fan of OneDrive, nor am I of Google Drive or of Dropbox. I think all of them are equally bad. So me personally, I don't really do much out of the central storage, but I think having cloud backup for disaster recovery purposes is needed. I made an entire video going over rclone. Actually, I'll go ahead and link it here too, because rclone's a very, very powerful tool. Basically what it does is it encrypts all your data before it leaves your local area network. So it gets stored on a Dropbox or wherever it might be, and it just works great. So let me grab that rclone video for you. I'll link it in chat. But yeah, if you're looking to actually utilize those and you're worried about privacy, or you care about the data you're sending up there, let's say you got like a financial document, something that you obviously don't want indexed by some big company, by all means, encrypt that before sending it. So I think it was rclone. Yeah, it's bad when I can't even find my own videos. Let's type encrypt maybe. Yeah, here we go. How to properly use cloud storage and encrypt it. Here you go. This is it uses a tool called rclone, but here's that, and encrypt cloud storage. There you go. So that's a good video to follow up on if you're interested in utilizing cloud storage. By all means, use that free stuff. If you're looking for something just cheap, DT, OneDrive's the devil. Yes, it is. But if you're looking for something just cheap and utilize what you already have for free, by all means, utilize rclone and encrypt that stuff. Get a free backup for disaster recovery purposes. And even better, that big company that's hosting it for free can't even read your data because it's all encrypted. So definitely utilize that. That's incredible. So swap file. Yeah, I kind of go over that, like swap off, swap on. Using swap files. I don't really drill down, I think, into swap files, swap partitions. Long story, too long, didn't watch of any swap file videos. I can break it down in 5 seconds for you, is this. There's not much difference between partitions and files. They both work pretty much the same. And obviously, I'm not going to get into the weeds of, sitting here and giving you a 60-minute lecture over this. But there's negligible performance difference between swap files, swap partitions, and in the same vein, a lot of people refer to page files from Windows. Very much the same type of thing. How do they utilize things and how they actually swap is a little different when you go to page files and swap, but they accomplish basically the same thing. So I hate using page files. I hate using swap files. If I can avoid it, I always don't. So I make sure in Linux's case, VM swappiness, if you're running a systemd spin of any systemd out there, which most big distros run it, I go into a video later this week on how to change all that around. I don't really use swap files if I can avoid it. But if I have about 16 gigs here, and with 16 gigs, I never touch my swap file. Talk about FreeBSD. Yeah, I need to get into FreeBSD. It's not really meant for a daily driver. There's a lot of things I utilize in Linux that obviously is just not there for FreeBSD. And probably to emphasize that point, most FreeBSD developers don't even use FreeBSD as an operating system. So, I mean, it's a fun project, it's a fun thing, but by no means are you going to just trade in everything and switch to FreeBSD. There's a couple people out there, but it's more for novelty purposes than to actually go ahead and do it. Most people always end up back in Linux just because, well, that's where all the support is. So that's why. But if you just want like a web browser or something, yeah, you can use FreeBSD. Prishon Gaming, how are you doing today? I'm doing really good, man. And yourself? WireGuard, good or overhyped? If not, video please. That's a good one. So WireGuard, we've been overdue for a new VPN for a long time. But when it comes to business and utilizing VPNs, I'm not gonna rush out of the gate and be like, WireGuard's the best ever. I like to let it sit for a good year or two. And then I might, look at doing that in a business. So most things will still run OpenVPN for the time being, but WireGuard has a lot of promise, and I do think it will replace most of the things based on what I'm seeing so far. But excellent. I wouldn't say I'd say it's a little overhyped just because everything in the media, it's brand new, and hey, you want to be the first one with a video out about it, cool. But give it a month or two, and then I'll mess around with it in the home environment, places where I don't really care too much about security, just to really get my feet wet with it. And then I'll start maybe looking at doing it, something in business. So you need a swap file or partition. You don't need a swap file or partition. If you have a 16 gig or more memory and you're not bloated up your system and you're not running a bunch of VMs, you don't need a swap file. You don't need a swap partition. You don't need any swap. Good example of this, and honestly, this is actually a bad example of it, but it's one where you see it all the time. Spin up a new virtual private server on any cloud provider. Do a micro instance with AWS or Google Cloud Platform or UpCloud, whatever. You'll notice all the really small instances that are like $1 a month, they only have like half a gig of RAM and no swap by default. So that's like the one instance you should have a swap file, but most of them aren't configured for swap file. So yeah, if you have a lot of memory, don't use a swap file, or at least change your swappiness to a low number so you're not utilizing that swap file. The myth of you have to have swap, or even paging file for that matter, when it comes to Windows, I think probably more in the realm of you need some type of paging, because Windows just can get resource hungry like no tomorrow. Even with 32 gigs of RAM, sometimes you get runaway processes in Windows. But with Linux, nah, you don't need a swap. What's your pin of Proxmox? So I have a Proxmox back here. I love it for YouTube videos. I love it for just messing around with an OS, or let's say I'm on a live stream and I'm like, let's spin up something and try whatever we want. It's neat for that. And the VNC capabilities and all that's really cool. Would I use it in business? No. I wouldn't. If I want to keep with an open source project and use virtualization in a business environment, I think almost all of those are headless, so I don't really care about VNC. I don't care about a lot of the features. I would go with XCP&G. That's a Zen server based, and Zen server was built by Citrix. And XCP&G is completely open source, so you get all the goodness of Zen server without any of the restrictions, which is awesome. And I still love XCP&G better than Proxmox for businesses, but that means headless in a data center. You're not going to hook up a monitor and keyboard to it, kind of thing. But the real benefits there too is it is Rail based, so you have better security, where Proxmox is Debian based, and Debian's a little bit weaker and also not as stable as Rail. And some people may not like me saying that, but you know, hey, that's just how, you know, it's been, you know, in business for the past decade. Torrenting Windows versus Linux, which is better? Can't tell you if you're joking or not. I haven't torrented in Windows in I don't know how long. I wouldn't trust Windows to save my life. You got so much leaks that you got. Hell, most people like if you're gonna do any kind of torrenting in Windows, and I'm not saying pirating or any of that, I'm just saying just regular torrents. Let's say you're gonna download a Linux ISO through a torrent. It is so aggravating in Windows because, one, a lot of times Windows will push IPv6, which I'm not a big fan of because, well, I've grown up on IPv4. And also isolating like DNS servers and things. Yeah, Windows is just horrible for torrenting. And I mean, yeah, that's not a question I can take seriously, because Linux all the way. Even when I was using Windows full time, like I would just use Linux for business, I still had like a little Raspberry Pi set up, running just Raspbian, with you know, torrenting and those types of things throwing through that box. Because I just don't trust Windows when it comes to all the network leakage that you get. You have so much stuff going on, and you can do like you know, just Wireshark and look at all the things that are going out with Windows. I mean, it's not a secure operating system at all. And using torrenting and those types of peer-to-peer services with Windows is just idiotic. Thoughts on AppArmor versus SE Linux? Personal preference. AppArmor that's a good question, Mitchell. AppArmor is one of those, it's good for locking down certain applications, and it's by default. I think there's some distros that roll AppArmor out, but for the most part you have to install it. If you're using Fedora or pretty much any Rail-based system, you have SE Linux, and it's pretty much loaded and configured by default, and it's really, really stinking good. SE Linux is going to be a little more secure, but it's going to be a little harder to configure. So, at least in my experience. So, it's the old adage, security versus convenience. If you want more security, by all means, you're going to want SE Linux. You're going to want a Rail-based server. If you want convenience, meaning speed, setup, ease of use, those types of things, you're probably going to want a Debian server with AppArmor, you know? Did I try Bedrock Linux? I need to retry Bedrock Linux, Lucas. When it comes to Bedrock Linux, I gotta say, I cringe a little bit looking back on that video. When I tried that project out, it wasn't really a fair shake to them because it was not even at version, I think it was like version 0.7, and I didn't even understand what I was getting into with Bedrock Linux. I just got it in a comment, and I just like blindly installed it on a Debian system, and yeah, that was dumb. I mean, how I did it was completely retarded. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But Bedrock Linux is interesting because you can utilize multiple package managers on a singular system. Do I think it has a future? Do I think there's any purpose for that? Not really. I mean, why would you blow up your system with a whole bunch of different package managers and kernels? And yeah, there's just, you know, that's my personal thoughts. MS copied a lot of the network stack from Linux and tried to use it on their own network stack and failed. Peter, I mean, the network stack in Linux isn't even that good. It wouldn't surprise me that Microsoft did that, but If you're really looking for a network stack that's amazing, even though I kind of slammed FreeBSD at the start of this, FreeBSD has the best network stack in existence out of all the open source projects. I mean, I don't know of anybody that has a better network stack than FreeBSD. Hell, I think Dropbox and several other big businesses use FreeBSD specifically because of how efficient it is with its network stack. So, hey, to each his own. But that's kind of funny if Microsoft is like, oh, let's just grab the Linux one. That'd be funny. But hey, I watched your video on the multi-boot tool Yummy. So Scott, I got a new video coming out. I'm no longer using Yummy. I think it was Peter actually, Peter Jansen right there. He actually linked something in comments, and his comment was, ooh, man, what was that? Vintoy, I think it was. I'm gonna look it up just so I don't botch it. Yeah, Vintoy. I did it on Friday's stream, but anyways, Vintoy, amazing. Check it out. Yummy sucks. Don't even use it anymore. Vintoy, that's my new thing. If you're going for multi-boot stuff, I'll make a video about it just to put it out there. But Vintoy, oh, it's even better than that video. It's kind of funny looking back at some of my videos, and I watch them. And I get people to link them every once in a while, and I'll go back and watch a video from like a year and a half ago, and I'll be like, oh, that's a bad video. So whenever I have that happen, I delete a video. The last video I deleted was November 2018. I made a video called The Best Linux Distro, and I rewatched it. It didn't age well. It didn't age well at all. It was bad. I was like, I don't want anybody seeing this. I don't care if I'm making money on this video or not. It is getting in the dumpster. So I actually deleted that file, that video. So I've only deleted, I think, a couple videos in the channel's history. Looking back, I think Clear Linux is the devil. I deleted that video because I actually looked back at Clear Linux, and there's one, that video had a lot of misinformation in it, which I missed on the facts. Even though I went back and added a top comment, wasn't enough, I deleted it. And then recently, I think it was 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I deleted the best Linux distro because I thought it was complete garbage of a video. I didn't agree with myself that I made there. And in my defense, I guess, I had only been using Linux desktop for like a month, and most of what I said was based on just Linux sysadmin type stuff. But from an actual desktop user perspective, I thought the video wasn't very good, so that's why I deleted it. If I don't think, the end of the day, I just look at, hey, does this provide value to people? Do people get help out of the video? And then I gauge everything by that, which is neat. It's a neat way of approaching it. That's why I love it. I miss your living room. Oh, gee. Yeah, so I do a callback to that, I think 2 weeks ago, but I'll do another video, OG, probably in the next week or so. Hitting the living room, just to kind of bring back that old thing, because I have my old Yeti mic. I went ahead and set it all back up, by the way, guys, because I had an extra studio light, because right now I have this giant soft box. I have a fill light right here, then I have like the ambience and all that, but I like to mix it up, so I grabbed another one, set it all back up in the living room, and I did it like this concealment way, so I can just turn on a couple things and then start recording again, and record it all back in there with the Yeti mic and have the old system just to have another scene. But the audio is not as good, and obviously the lighting and other things aren't as good. But I'll throw it in every once in a while just to surprise y'all. If you look at the system folder on Windows, you will find an etc folder for networking. Yeah, that's been there forever. So yeah, if in that folder, if you go to system32 etc driver, or no, I'm sorry, it's no, it's I think it's a system32 drivers etc. You'll see the host file that resides in that folder, and I've done a lot of things with the host file because a host will override any DNS settings, so you can do a lot of shenanigans to bypass all kinds of things. So yeah, host file's cool. And honestly, I've even set batch scripts up in businesses to block certain things in host files and make it to where nobody can get in there and change things. So like blocking Facebook or something like that, you could easily utilize that strategy to kill it. I mean, there's a lot more elegant ways of approaching that these days, but I remember, you know, mid 2000s, late 2000s, I was utilizing the host file in Windows System 32. Oh, the Christmas tree. So great. Yeah, I'm a standing desk guy, Scott. I have a pretty bad back. So this is actually FlexiSpot. I did a review video for it back when I did review videos. I only did like probably, what, 5-6 review videos for everyone that's been with the channel for a while. And I mainly did the review video just so I could get this desk. This is one of the few things I love. So like revisiting all my reviews, I would only review products that I thought I could use somewhere in the channel, or I just needed because I'm just too cheap to buy it. So the standing desk from FlexiSpot, shout out to them. They didn't pay me for that video, but they sent this desk to me, and this desk is awesome. So I think it was about retail for about 600 bucks. I love this desk. It's fantastic. Now that gaming chair you see in my videos, freaking hate that gaming chair. Autofull, you need to, 1, not put your damn logo all over a chair, and 2, gaming chairs suck. Don't buy a gaming chair. That's my, I'm never gonna get a gaming chair sponsor, that's for sure. That was another one. I was like, I don't want to buy an office chair. I want one of those cool gaming chairs like all the other YouTubers. And then, yeah, I got it. I'm like, this thing sucks. Oh, my back hurts just thinking about that chair. Anywho. Fun fact. Did you see a video where Jay's 2 cents bought a Shure SM7? Oh, yeah. Oh, God, Jay. I did, DT. Poor Jay. I love Jay's 2 cents. But yeah, it was cringy. I mean, so I probably would have made fun of him for it back in the day, but Jay, I after doing YouTube for, coming up on 2 years, guys. 2 years in September, October, I think. Like mid-September, I think is when I started of 2018. So we're coming up on 2 years. And in that 2 year, there's been a couple videos I've regretted making. But good on Joe. I think Jay came back out and said, hey, I was wrong. So I got a Go XLR, and it has an actual decent amp in it, and the Shure SM7B sounds good. And then I watched that video from Jay, and I was like, it sounds all right, I guess. I mean, it could sound better than what he got, but I mean, it's one of those mics that you really have to really tinker a lot with. So he did come back out and said he was wrong, and he liked the Shure SM7B sound, but he was still not using like a cloud lifter, and he was still just using like, I think it's like the $400 or $500 Go XLR, which it does have Midas preamp, so it's decent. And it's not like this sounds great, because honestly, I got a AC unit 5 feet from the actual mic, but it's running right now. My AC unit's running because these lights are super hot and I'm like sweating. But even with that AC unit just blasting, just right now, like 5 feet from me, it still sounds all right. I mean, you guys probably didn't notice until I just said that. If you have monitors, if you turn your sound way up, you'll hear it when I talk. You'll hear that little shh. That's from the AC unit. But it does a pretty good job of blocking all that sound. But yeah, I mean, Jay accepted his things, and it sounds pretty decent now with the Go XLR. I mean, I still wouldn't, if you're gonna go with Go XLR, don't get a Shure SM7B. I mean, you really got to go with one hell of a setup to really power the Shure SM7B and get a really, really good sound out of it. Looking back, I'm like, probably shouldn't have bought it, but I'm invested now, so I'm like, I mean, I got like the cloud lifter, I got it feeding into there, like a Soundcraft UI16. I mean, it's like a ridiculous setup. I would never recommend my setup, but yeah, I'm so invested with this dang mic. But hey, it's got good sound once you get it all going. I think we've all done that though. Jay did not do proper research, but I'm in that camp too. Hell, my first XLR mic I bought was oh geez, I'm drawing a blank. No, it was a Blue Spark. The Blue Spark was, oh, it was bad. It was bad for sure. You can talk to me later about chairs. Used to say, oh yeah, I'll hit you up, Mike, for sure. Appreciate the super chat, man. I will definitely hit you up on chairs because, yeah. I forgot to tell y'all, I did buy an inverted table. I think it was on Lunduk, and they were talking inverted tables, and I got on Amazon while we were sitting on that show, and I was actually buying it right in the middle of the live stream, and I assembled it. It works, and I like it. It's a heck of a lot better than having to go to the chiropractor. So, yeah, Scott, don't copy my setup. I think it's a waste of money. The Shure SM7B is a nice microphone, and if you properly power it, you properly do it all, you can get real good sound out of it. But you're going to spend 3 times more money to get pretty much the equivalent sound of a lot of other ones. Like Sennheiser makes a lot of really good mics that are dynamic, that are way cheaper, that get pretty close to the equivalent amount of sound. Some people even sound better with the Sennheiser stuff, so it just depends on your preference. And don't be afraid to put the microphone in frame. That's the other thing. If you don't like microphones being in frame, never ever buy this microphone because you got to be like right up on it. Otherwise it sounds like poo. What about another Windows versus Linux video? It has been a little bit, Steven. Yeah, I might do something on that front. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do on that, but we'll figure something out. I like to revisit about once every 6 months. Any blue microphone is bad. The only problem I have with the blues is it makes me sound like some like broadcaster. Probably like the most broadcasting voice on YouTube that I can think of is like Epos Vox. He has like the deep voice. Like he has a really nice mic and he has a really good setup. If you're looking for a setup, check out his channel. But when he's talking, God, I could only imagine what he sounds like in a Blue Yeti. He's probably like, brrr. I mean, it's gotta be like super deep. But if you already have a like naturally deep voice like his and you grab a Blue Yeti, you're gonna sound like a being from another universe. I mean, it's gonna be nuts. But he has great content. If you are looking for an audio setup for sure, check out Epos Vox because I really like a lot of his stuff. Or you can also check out, I think Alpha Gaming. He does a lot of stream stuff. So like I didn't know jack about streaming, so I learned a lot from a lot of his videos too. And actually all the background music that's playing right now is stuff he composed and he did it all royalty free. So I put it on, I think the streams channel, I put a lot of that on there and I was like, I'm just gonna let this run for a month because he's basically giving all this music out for free. And I did, and he never claimed any of it. So I was like, all right, cool. So all the background music's done by the Alpha Gaming. I think it's like Stream Beats or something. He has a playlist, but he gets well compensated from all the plays from Spotify, which is amazing. Because I had a lot of trouble with background music. I had like this EDM, like house music, like it's just super fast. It was messed up. Well, this is, I wouldn't call it good music, but I would call it perfect voiceover music. It is like the perfect stream music for me because it's just chill. I tell you. Do you use any Sandbox apps? Flatpaks, snaps? Hell no. App images? Yes. So I do like Flatpaks and app images. Obviously, everyone knows my distaste for snaps. I don't need to go into that. But as far as Flatpaks and app images, it depends on what I'm installing. If it's a program like Discord, I'll use Flatpak. If it's a program like Kdenlive, I'll use app image. And the reason for that is Kdenlive, a lot of, like, I'll find a release that is like golden and I'll stick on that release for like 2 years. Like my version of Kdenlive hasn't changed in 2 years. I mean, it's still like 19.08.3, I think, subversion 3. And that has been like my sweet spot for a video editor. And I'm like not giving it up anytime soon. I'm just going to keep rocking that. Thank God for app images. I love them. And I love Flatpaks too. Like Discord, it constantly updates and upgrades and it's pretty good. So yeah, if you spend a few $100s on ADC and amplifier, yeah. I need to do better on my sound, Peter. Sound's always something you can always improve on. So's video. I had no idea. Arch for a server? Absolutely not. So, no, don't do it. My stream PC, this right here, I was on Arch Linux for a little bit because, I don't know, because I like breaking things. Oh, come on. I just noticed I went out of focus. But anyways, yeah, no, don't do Arch Linux for a server. Do Debian or Debian, even Ubuntu server. I don't mind Ubuntu server. Heck, my entire studio PC here, I just did Ubuntu server install and then I just layered everything on top of it. I didn't even actually do the desktop install. I don't mind Ubuntu server. And obviously, if you're looking for the absolute most stable server out there, CentOS, which I've already covered. Don't want to beat a dead horse, but CentOS, man, you turn on a CentOS server, you can just check back in the next decade because that thing will just keep running and running and running, and they're so darn stable. They're a pain to set up though. they're way harder than a Debian or Ubuntu server. So Ubuntu's like it's my lazy man server. So if I'm setting up something in Ubuntu, it just means I don't want to work at doing a lot of the stuff. Yeah, I actually did a 24-hour link to Discord earlier, Dav, in the stream. I'll see if I think OG's in here. If OG's still here, he can copy paste that link. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Hey, Don, how you doing, man? Yeah, Cuttlefish. He said, but distribution doesn't matter. Linux is Linux. So all these tryhards and these vets out there that was hitting me up for the slogans I was saying, I was just like, man, you guys are missing the whole point. And that's why I just stopped saying it. I was just like, forget it. Y'all just do your tribalism thing and just say, this distro's the best. Whatever. I'm going to troll the hell out of those people, though. Every about 6 months to a year, I'm going to make the best Linux distro. And then it's going to be like me building a distro from CLI. That's what I did this year. I said the best Linux distro for 2020. And then I think I was installing Arch and then like slowly building the stuff. I need to replace it and say the second best Linux distro for 2020. That's what I should have made my Ubuntu video. But building it up from scratch. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to customize Linux. You just do. If you want to go that route. Did you try the low latency? Yes. Big difference. Thank you for bringing that up, Panos. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But right here, it seems a little laggy today. Maybe. I don't know. I sync it up, but I did notice a big difference between regular kernel and low latency kernel. I'm using low latency here. Still, I mean, it's very, very close. Very close. Like here, let me give you guys a clap track. Cover your ears. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Just to give you an idea of the sync. I still do clap tracks every bit. And for the most part, I'm able to record on the fly and I don't run out of sync very much with the low latency. Every once in a while, something will happen and it feels like it's a little off. Like right now, it feels like it's probably like 50 to 100 milliseconds off. Oh, Fedora 32. I always had a soft spot for Fedora. I'll try it out. I'll toss up a Fedora 32 video. Although I'm going to be like 2 weeks late. I'm going to be a little bit late to that party. But I love Fedora. It was actually one of the very first, I think it was the very first distro I tried for the desktop. If you look at my original first 30 days. Yeah, real time while recording. Yeah. Yeah, low latency is definitely an improvement from regular, but you can go even one step up from low latency and go real time. I probably should have gone real time, and I'll probably end up rebuilding this whole thing with an RT or real time kernel. Sync perfect for you. All right, cool. Yeah, what I like to do, like if you ever want to like do a clap track for anybody out there that records stuff, I figured out real quick. I mean, it seems like maybe it's just like me that was an idiot that couldn't figure this out. But like for the longest while, like my stream was off. Like it seemed like I was lagging a little bit behind, or maybe the audio was coming in early. And what I ended up doing was just doing a basic recording with a clap track, clapping like 2 or 3 times. And then I would just play it back at like 0.25 speed. And to that point, I hate VLC. Like, I need to make a video. I should call it like VLC's the devil. No. no. But I'm going to say VLC sucks in Linux. Like, VLC is like the King Kong, like the mammoth. Everyone uses VLC on Windows. But when it comes to Linux, VLC kind of blows. And it like gets stuck open. There's a lot of issues I have with VLC, no matter what distro I'm on. It could be a Fedora, it could be a Debian, it could be an Arch. I always have problems with VLC, and I stopped using it. And I started using celluloid? I don't know how to say it, but it's like a respin of MPV. It's like a sleek, awesome version of MPV. So if you have problems with video playback on Linux, try celluloid, or yeah, that's it. Alexandros. For the win. That's the package. Apt install, yay, -s install, whatever package manager you got. Install that. Kick VLC to the curb. VLC sucks. I need to make a video about how much VLC sucks in Linux. I mean, it was so bad that I made hotkeys to kill. I had a hotkey that says like kill all -9 VLC, just so I could relaunch VLC. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, wait a second. There's like a package, there's like 10 packages for anything you want to do in Linux. If you can think of it, it's been done 10 times, I guarantee it. And it's all open source, so you can just get whatever you want in Linux. It's fantastic. So I'm like, why am I killing myself? It's like I'm a Windows user using Linux, and I keep using VLC. And it's an abusive relationship. But after I found that package, I need to just completely not use VLC anymore. And on my inside PC, where I do a lot of my playback, I've successfully switched. But yeah, nah, and it's bloated, it crashes, and it's just overall a horrible experience. Thanks for the super chat there, Mr. Silva. Let's see, virtualization platform to build a home lab with gaming Win 10 VM2, Zen server or Proxmox, GPU pass-through, a good idea for COD Modern Warfare, thinking 3950X. Okay, 3950X is amazing CPU. Would be great for any virtualization you want. If you're going with the GPU pass-through, even though I talked up Zen server earlier in this thing, or technically XCP-ng, which is the open source version of Zen server, their GPU pass-through I was not very impressed with. I would probably recommend Proxmox, because you with Proxmox you can edit a lot of things, which is just amazing. So yeah, for that I would say Proxmox, but for me, because I play Modern Warfare, Warzone, me and my buddy tonight, we have a standing, hey, he's been my best friend since like first grade, or maybe kindergarten. And every Sunday, as you grow up, you get busy and you're like, you don't have time. But every Sunday at 10 p.m., we jump online, we chat a bit, we jump in, do some Modern Warfare or whatever game. We've done Diablo and other stuff, but we always do that Sunday night. So tonight, I'll be on Modern Warfare for sure, playing with him. We suck. We're horrible. I don't have the time to be good, but we have fun nonetheless. Usually it's us just getting in vehicles trying to run people over, though, because that's the highest success rate we get. But yeah, I do love XCP-ng the most for hosting environments, but for gaming, I mean, even my Windows PC back here, I mean, I didn't even virtualize that one. I didn't even want to virtualize it. So that's why. But I think Hikari, you can check out with him. Hikari Knight has a great how-to guide. You've probably seen him in comments, and he's a mod on the Discord as well. And Hikari built an entire, like how I actually got introduced basically to him is he sent me an email with, was when my channel first started, and he's like, hey, I noticed you wanted to do GPU pass-through. I wrote this 20-page white paper over GPU pass-through. And he wasn't kidding. It was like 20 pages. And it was very, very well done. I had no problem setting it up, and that series still exists for GPU pass-through. So that way you don't have to actually reboot your computer. You could just spin up a Windows VM and start playing natively with that series. I didn't finish that series out with... oh man, what was that one from Wendell from Level 1 Techs? I think had that project. Looking Glass. That's the one I was thinking of. Without Looking Glass, I was still hitting the input on my monitor and switching to another input when I booted into it to do the GPU pass through. But since I've pretty much just given up on it, I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather just build another PC. As horrible as that is. But it worked great on the inside PC. And then I did a live stream, a 7-hour long live stream, over doing GPU pass-through on this other PC I had out here. And it was a friggin' nightmare. It was basically, at the end of the day, my motherboard's incompatible with PCI pass-through. So. Love the sticker there, Don. Thanks a lot, man. 150 push-ups for 150K. No, I'm still sore from Friday, man. That push-up cam is killing me on Twitch. I need to switch it up a little. But it's good, you know, you gotta work out, gotta keep yourself motivated. Having you guys redeem channel points and have me do push-ups, hey, that was awesome. I love it. Keeps me, hey, you might be saving my life. True story. I really do believe in the power of exercise. And you're probably improving my my mental capabilities, because if you don't exercise, you have issues thinking clearly. For sure. Yeah, when you virtualize, graphic issues are almost a given. That's why you do a lot of GPU pass-throughs with virtualization. So you have to have at least 2 graphics cards. So if you're using the 3950, you're going to need 2 opposite graphics cards. I highly recommend an NVIDIA and an AMD. Host the virtualization environment with the AMD graphics card, like maybe a 570 or something like that. Something, a low-end card like you can get for about $150. And then for the high end, obviously, like a 2060, RTX 2060 is probably what I'd go with for virtualizing a Windows environment. That would probably be the best setup. That's what I'm rocking here, is my Windows gaming box back here that I use Moonlight for, is great. So yeah, Situps is a lazy day. I need to mix that in, Peter. I think when I go to 3 days a week streaming, Peter, I'll do Situps on Wednesdays. That'd be great. Yeah, I love that, though. I love having fun. Honestly, the live streaming kept my sanity, man. I just love live streaming. Did you always work in IT? What age did you start? Cheeker. Yeah, I made a little video about this. Heck, you know what? I have this from last night, but I actually forgot to show it. Here. This is one of my first jobs. Let's see if I can't focus. Focus. Bam. Double agent, Chris Titus, 2667. Titus. And then shortly after that, I went to the business department, which, yes, Geek Squad did have business department back in the day. I'm pretty sure they deep sixed that, but yeah, old Geek Squad, man. I was back in 2002. 2002 is when Geek Squad got acquired, and they tried a lot of different things. They had Best Buy for Biz, is what they call it. Horrible marketing. And then they bought out Geek Squad, and then they created something called Special Agents that could actually go in. Fantastic for learning stuff. So I literally was touching, oh man, I'd say in 1 year as a special agent, which is business tech is basically what that means. I touched probably 10, probably closer to 100 environments. And I set up probably close to 30 different businesses, infrastructure, the whole nine. It was amazing. Like the amount of experience I got doing that, you just don't get in today's society, just because small business is just not what it was for its tech needs. Most things are software as service or set up in the cloud, which is as it should be. I mean, that was a pretty expensive setup a lot of ways. But yeah, no, I got started with that. I was actually computer sales for when I was 18, probably. So I actually got started as a salesperson, and I sold computers at Fry's Electronics. I made friends with my Soup 1 and Soup 3, or no, Soup 1 and Soup 2, which Soup 1 sold desktop computers, Soup 2 sold laptops at Fry's. They're great. Big shout out to my Soup 1 was Mike Medeiros. My Soup 2 was Jesse McLeod from the clan McLeod. And yeah, so those guys, Jesse ended up splitting off, going to Best Buy, and Mike followed Jesse, and then Mike ended up running a department, and then he pulled me over, and me and Mike have stayed close throughout all the years. But yeah, that's how it ended up being, was just that relationship I built. I was actually a salesperson for them, and you know, we went out and had drinks and stuff afterwards, and then, you know, I was like, yeah, I can fix computers. So a lot of times the interview process, I think, happened over I forget what it was. I think, you know, we went out and had a drink or something. He's like, oh, you know what? And Fry's at that time was just, it was going really, really downhill because of just a variety of factors. And that's when I went over to Best Buy. And once I got in, I was actually started repairing computers, and I just got a immense amount of experience just because I was able to touch so many systems across. So I actually ended up going up further than that and getting something called like Deputy Field Marshal by the mid 2000s, so around 2005, 2006. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I even made some things, like I made a phone call-in system for them to where there was an issues getting a hold of the DFMs and the district people at the time. So I created an entire call-in center to where it routed everything through an automated system, and everyone thought that was amazing. I even got like a little article write-up somewhere in a bin. But anyways, yeah, it was a fun time. I loved that going up, and I loved working for Best Buy, honestly. And then, what was it, 2008, I ended up spinning off of that and going to work for a contract company, doing a variety of businesses again. I probably set up another, 50 to 60 businesses probably for that company. And then with all of that, I got called in and I went to Inhouse for a law firm in late 2000s. And I've been with that law firm for a long time, but there's been a lot of, if you look through my resume, it's kind of a funky thing. Like probably in the 2012, 2013, that firm had a split. And at the time, my salary was pretty high, and they were downsizing from like 50 employees to 20, I think, something like that. They were basically getting cut in half and going from 2 locations to 1 location. And obviously they weren't going to need me full time, but luckily the managing partner for that firm had, her husband had basically a tech company. He did a bunch of IT work, and he's like, hey, this isn't really like anything you've ever done before, but you're a smart guy, you can figure it out. And I'm like, cool. So I actually split my time between the firm and then him for probably about another 3 or 4 years, something like that. And built out, like, that's where I went into a lot of telephony stuff, learned a lot about PBX boxes, Linux servers. I was really, really big into CentOS servers during that time, and doing a lot of different just wacky things because I dealt with a lot of big companies. Like I remember talking with Facebook. I talked with a lot of government agencies. Heck, pretty much every National Guard you can think of, which you didn't realize that states had different National Guards. But the ATF, there's a lot of people I interface with as far as the systems that we build out and would send out to them. And all of them had like really unique requirements, which was really cool. So it was a really fun work environment because I got to do that, and then I got to bounce right back to like traditional in-house IT work. So I'd go back and forth with that. And then in 2016, that's when I went to IT director for a big company. And that company was huge, just massive. And I took over all of that, revamped their entire data center. I don't have very many fond memories of that company, but I did make a ton of money, and it was a very, very good experience because it made me realize what I want in life. I would have never started my YouTube channel if I never went to that company. I would have never done any of the stuff I've done in the past 4 years if I never went to that company. As that company was like the pinnacle of my career. It was the very, very top. I got as much control as I possibly wanted. I had direct interactions to the entire board. I mean, direct report was a VIP of IT, and I had direct contact with the CEO on a weekly basis, and I was able to do whatever I wanted. And they were all game because they just bought out by a VC firm, and I was able to revamp anything I wanted, and I was working ridiculous hours. I mean, it was just ridiculous hours, but I learned so much in that time that one, I learned a lot more as far as what I was capable of. I told the story of, that huge crash where I had to rebuild an entire data center in 2 weeks, which I got all essential systems up in 3 days, and then the entire business back online in 2 weeks. And not only did I get back online, but I improved everything. I improved the entire Citrix, Zen farms, everything. I rebuilt it all, which is fantastic. But it was really neat. After I got done with that, I was like, okay, I thought that was impossible. And then I realized anything is possible after that. There's nothing that I'm like, oh, that's impossible now. Just a lack of an imagination. So, yeah, that was my experience. That was my whole career bundled up into, I don't know, that was maybe a 10-minute rant. So, sorry. But yeah, that's a hard question to ask. But the fun thing is, I never pigeonhole yourself into one thing. Worst employees I can ever dealt with was the people that were like, it's not my job. Never, ever, ever say that. And when I tell people about my successful career, I will say this much. Most of it was because I showed up, I was punctual, and I did what I said I was gonna do. And if something went wrong, I was upfront about it. I said, hey, I screwed up on this. I need to fix it. Here's the plan. Didn't make excuses. Man, that's all you want in an employee. Nobody knows everything. So, get off my soapbox now. Have you ever tried ClearOS or Zenthal for Active Directory replacement? I have not, Panos, but Hikari Knight actually set up quite a few of those again. Wish Hikari was here. He could tell you all about his Zenthal woes. Will you ever buy a mechanical keyboard? No. I hate mechanical keyboards. They're horrible. So, mechanical keyboards are fun just because I hate the noise. Like, I actually got one for free because a buddy of mine, I built his computer, but then he wanted to go back to console gaming. Like, I didn't realize that was a thing, but he was like, no, I just want to sit on my couch and play games, and I just don't want my computer anymore. I'm like, oh, you can set up. He's like, no, I just want to go to a PS4. I'm done. I'm like, really? All right. So basically, I pieced apart his computer and went on like Reddit hardware swap and sold all of it for him, and he gave me like all the peripherals and stuff for it, and one of them was a Black Widow Chroma Razer keyboard or something, I think. I don't know if that was I remember it was like Black Widow something Black Widow Ultimate or whatever it was. It was a really, really nice mechanical keyboard. That thing, man, I could just jam out some stuff, but damn, it was annoying. I mean, the clickety clack. My wife wanted to kill me. Like, as soon as I started using it, she was like, nope, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna take a hammer to that one as soon as you get up. I was like, all right. And I can't put it in the studio because it's just too loud. But yeah, no, I'll never use a mechanical keyboard because of that. Unless they make a quiet mechanical keyboard. If that ever becomes a thing, sign me up. I guess I love the feel of mechanical keyboards. But the sound, never. The Model M. Yeah, that's the spring hinge mechanical keyboard from IBM. What was it, 89? Could be wrong with that. I think LTT actually did a great video on the Model M keyboard. He even got like a old jacket. I mean, it was great. It was a very well done video by LTT. Sometimes I criticize LTT, but that was a fantastic video he did on the Model M. Has your opinion of Clear Linux changed? It has. Nomad. I actually am using Clear Linux on a laptop. Why? Why, you ask? Well, because it's actually really darn good for a laptop that you don't use very often. Like, I pull that laptop out like once a month, and I know because of how Clear Linux is structured and how it's all compartmentalized, or not really compartmentalized, but how it just update cycle goes, I never have to worry about it breaking. And yeah, Clear Linux on a laptop you don't use very often, fantastic. Also, the battery life's excellent. So yeah, I do love Clear Linux for that purpose, but that's about it. That's where I draw the line. Do you speak any other languages? Not really. I mean, I can say phrases in other languages, but most of them are very cringy and pretty horrible. What is it? Dos cervezas, por favor, for Spanish. 2 beers, please. Donde es mi pantalones? Where's my pants? But getting off of Spanish, I took Spanish for 2 years, but I don't remember anything. Except if someone's cussing at me. Usually I'm pretty good with cuss words in Spanish. And a little Swedish. Probably like Jag älskar dig, I think. Butchered that. That's so Americanized retelling of it. It's such a beautiful language that just kind of rolls off the tongue, but you know, I'm just so harsh. But that means I love you. There's a couple other little tidbits I can get from each language, but no, I'm not bilingual by any means. Horrible. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. That's pretty much the extent of what I deal with on the language front. Computer languages. Oh, yeah. So there's some languages I know. Like I got started with Basic, Basic and QBasic, and then I took C++ for a long time. I took about 3 years of C++ in the late 90s. And then I really kind of fall off the map. I still know a lot of top-down programming, and I actually, in the early 2000s, took a couple courses over computer concepts and the basics of that, but by no means am I fluent in any computer language either, you know. I can get by and hack around and get whatever I need done, but no. As far as writing a program from scratch and things, nah, not so much. And scripting I'm really good at though. Scripting is my jam. Windows PowerShell, and also some Bash scripting. I'm pretty decent with Bash. No Cobalt though. Any plans for more Raspberry Pi videos? Compiler tries. I do have a couple of those in the pipe. So as far as Raspberry Pi videos, I have a new project coming out. It's really interesting. It's called OpenHab, or it's actually the project I'll be using for the Pi, of course. You could imagine using the OpenHab project. It's called OpenHabian. IAN, you know, like Raspbian. And that's a whole home automation thing. So I got like the whole Alexa thing, and you know, I'm tying that into some streams coming up and those types of fun automation projects. But I really wanted to tie into like have like a little tablet with Raspbian running on it, and the OpenHab project, which will be fun. But with that, guys, if you guys have any more questions, let me know, and I'll get those answered in the next couple minutes, and then we'll shut this thing down. I've just really wanted to say thank you to everybody for watching the videos. I really enjoy making them. I can't wait to make more. To say 150,000 subs, I think that's ridiculous. I never, ever anticipated to get 150,000 subs. That blows my mind. So thank you all for supporting me, watching the videos, and just giving me the feedback. A lot of the videos were made by you, you know? A lot of them were a good comment I saw. I was like, ooh, what's this guy talking about? What's this project? And it just kind of sparked my curiosity. That's what I love the most, is reading the comments and getting an idea about something I've never seen before. That is just, it's a magical experience. So I love it. What's going on with Discord? Do you plan on trying to join, not have permission? Earl, I'm not gonna do much with Discord right now. I probably will do like an invite system. I'll turn that over to the mods and stuff, but I'm not gonna probably advertise it much on YouTube, as just moderating it as it gets just blown up. I just don't have the time to moderate it that much, and that's why I haven't really done an actual invite link. If you're in Discord right now, I'm gonna talk to the mods and we'll have like an invite system to where people can invite people. But as far as me, you know, saying, hey, everyone go join, I'm probably not going to do that in the foreseeable future. Do you have another Samba video for more advanced usage? I need to redo that video. And that one video I have is just basic, open up a Samba share and do it. Thank you, Kat. I will definitely redo Samba and follow up because I actually meant to do it after that Samba video. So, you know, I'm going to put it on my little list here. I have an entire list, and heck, I'll just show you guys. It's probably going to look like crap, but hey. Oh, nope. Oh, well. Primary. What do we got? Yeah, so we'll do a little Samba. Or actually, I'll probably put it in over here. So Samba, usually I kind of throw all my content ideas here. So like if somebody says something in chat, like, or a comment, I'll just go through and go, ooh, that might be a good video. So I'll like actually flip through and do it. So like when everyone's like, hey, are you ever going to run any ideas? I'm like, no, I got too many damn ideas already. So Samba advanced video. I need to do that though. I will get back to it, but just know that, yes, I've probably seen your comment. Yes, I will eventually get there, but I just haven't yet. Because there's always something new. There's always just something better that you can go out of your way and do. So I love it. So happy Star Wars Day. So true. So true. And I am now on library. You know, Juan, LBRY, I am synced over there now. I have a video coming out tomorrow about library. I initially came out pretty negative about library, as you guys remember. But I'm since going back and actually explaining why I now am syncing the library. I've actually talked to the team over there, and a lot of the advancements they've made in the past 3 months has been enough for me to go, you know what? This has actually made a lot of strides, and they've done a lot of work that it's still not perfect, but nothing's perfect. But I have been very, very impressed with the progress they've made in the short time since actually that video was made. And they took a lot of the suggestions and feedback that I gave and implemented fixes. Are the fixes perfect? No. But it's a start, and the fact they listened and implemented the fixes tells me that that's only going to get better with time. So that was enough for me to go, I'm going to sync my content to library. Oh, thanks, Sparkies. Yeah, I'll get the Discord invites and stuff. And let me, you know, before we jump off here, I'll go ahead and send an invite to everybody here that's in chat right now. Because I think I got someone sent me a message saying, hey, you know, only patrons can join Discord, and that's not, I don't want that. I don't want to lock it behind some kind of paywall. So by all means, I just don't have a good way to, I can't make a universal link that's good forever, because then the server gets attacked and all this shenanigans happen. And we don't want that. So that's just the link that's good for the next 24 hours. And then if you're watching this on the replay, then, you know, it's probably not good. But thank you guys. I will probably actually jump over on Twitch and do a little, you know, I have something, and I'm almost thinking about doing a video about this, even though it's like totally off the wall, not really what I do on the channel, but it's something that I'm kind of passionate about. And I've spent probably 15 years of my life doing, and that was EverQuest 1. I've talked about it in the past, but EverQuest 1, a lot of people have like this nostalgia memory of back like 1999 to like 2003 of it being like this awesome thing. I played back then, and it was fun for that time, but I don't like Project 99 and all these other emulated projects. I really like live version of EverQuest as it is today, but I do use a lot of tools. And I wanted to kind of showcase that. So I might do a stream here in a bit, later today over on Twitch, and showcase. Actually, I'll just jump over there now and showcase it, but and get some feedback from y'all. But it's very interesting because I do a lot of window management. I redo the entire user interface, and I do a lot of scripting and other things that make the game enjoyable for me. And it doesn't ruin anything, as I don't like do packet injection or anything like that ruins the game for folks that actually play it, just the vanilla client. But yeah, you know, I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts. It's something that I've always been very passionate about for the past 15 years. But yeah, I'll jump over on Twitch and stream some EverQuest. But thank you guys again for joining me, asking me questions for the 100K or 150K sub live chat. I love this. I'm going to try and do this maybe once a month or something, and just jump on here, take questions, because again, like, just having you guys chat back and forth is amazing. I always get great ideas. Heck, just the last comment in here about an advanced video about Samba. That's a gap in my library. I've done a basic video on Samba and how to just create an open share anybody can access, but I do need to go over advanced permissions and really lock that down a little bit. Will there be another OpenSUSE try? Maybe. OpenSUSE is cool. I like Yast. I like Zipper. I like a lot of things about OpenSUSE. But till then, guys, again, be safe out there. Be excellent to each other. I know a lot of people are itching to get back. I'm going to be going back to work this next week, and I'm actually looking forward to it. So, you know, everything's really going well, and I'm really enjoying everything. If you see me having some like oddball videos pop up, that's just me being me. Sometimes I like to just do off the wall things with videos, and all right, I go down like this rabbit hole of some project I got on, and I just like doing. So just know I always bounce back and forth, and I always kind of go all over the place, both Windows, Linux, networking, whatever it might be. It just, you know, it is what it is that week. But I always circle back around to Linux for sure. So with that, guys, take it easy, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Awkward silence while I hit the end button.